Welcome to Dead Man Talking. Tonight's show is the return and part 2 of the exclusive Incredible Viking series by Baldridge. As ever, please do let me know what you thought down below in the comments box. Please do like and share. It really does help build the channel and our community further. And why not hashtag Team Fear and DMT's Cryptid crew. And so, with that aside, let's get into tonight's story, entitled The Battle in the North, Part 2. Let's get straight into that. The howls and roars echo through the frozen forest. Bjorn's hairs raised on the back of his neck. His whole body was tensed as if ready to attack. Whoa, boy. Easy now. Easy. Soon, boy, we will have our revenge. I promise. But we must be smart about this. I said, patting his head as he lowered his growls and replaced them with an affirmative grunt. He gave me a playful lick on the face, his huge tongue drenching my beard and face, making me gag on his rancid breath. Oh, boy, that's enough. Your breath smells like a moose's ass. He then proceeded to nudge me to his back, almost like encouraging me to climb on. You want me to ride you, boy? I asked with a raised brow. He grunted and almost gave a playful smile, and with his tongue hanging out the side of his mouth, panting his breath into my face. Okay, I shouted. Just don't breathe on me. I laughed and playfully shoved his head away. Grabbing a handful of his fur, I leapt onto his back and steadied my position in the middle of his back. It was not as comfortable as the horse, as he was way bigger and much more muscular than any horse. How's that, huh, boy? Feel alright? I asked while stroking his massive back and thick fur. He gave another one of his affirmative grunts while he looked back at me with those big black eyes. All right, boy, let's go get some food, I shouted as I gave a light tug on his fur, signaling him to go. And without warning, he took off with such speed, it nearly threw me off as we rode off, leaving behind nothing but an icy mist. As we rode on, the icy wind bit and stung at my face like 1,000 tiny ice daggers. But surprisingly, my legs and body were warm thanks to Bjorn. I noticed he never got cold, or even as when snow fell on him, it just melted away, making him no match for the harsh winter weather. We rode until we came upon a clearing, just as we reached the end of the forest. I just happened to look down and saw tracks. I tugged at Bjorn's hair, and he stopped as if he could almost read my mind, because he saw them too. You see that, boy? Well, that's food, and it's close. Real close. He wagged his tail and gave a tiny puppy yelp. I jumped down and drew my axe, examining the hoof prints. These here are elk tracks, boy. We will be eating real well soon, I said as I rubbed his head. He knelt down as I climbed on his back, and we slowly crawled following the tracks and not making a sound. I could feel his heart begin to race as it almost vibrated to my legs. Easy, boy. Easy now. Patience, I whispered. As we followed the track, I picked up a branch and quickly cut off the rough sides and sharpened the tip for a makeshift spear, as I know an axe is not that good for hunting, and I was not taking any chances. Within a few minutes we came upon this elk. I had its back to us, and it seemed to be eating from a berry bush. I felt the wind brush my beard. Perfect. I thought, we are downwind. I slowly climbed off of Bjorn, spear in hand. All right, boy, stay, I whispered. He gave me a disappointed look as if he was shocked that I didn't want him to go with me. I need you to stay here, boy, all right? I'll be back with our food. No offense, but you are hard to hide. He seemed to agree and laid down with a disappointed grunt. I continued onward, not taking my eyes off of the elk, stopping every few feet to listen watch. When I got within striking distance behind another berry bush, with the elk diagonal to my right, it gave me a fair shot, so I stopped and listened again, one last time. I could hear my blood pumping and the elk grunting between bites. I slowly raised to my feet, drew back the spear, and let out a slow breath. As I was about to launch the spear, Bjorn burst through the bushes beside me and tackled the unsuspecting elk to the ground with his mouth around its neck. The elk didn't even get to make a sound when Bjorn crushed its neck with one massive bite. Blood splattered the snow as its body went limp. I stood shocked and slightly pissed because he did not listen to me, but I was also very impressed as I didn't even see him or hear him. "Bjorn, you crazy beast! He was mine!" I shouted while shaking my spear at him. He just looked at me with a cocky sort of grin and wagged his tail like he was waiting for my approval. "I guess that's a good boy. You surprised me, is all. But next time, listen to me, okay?" I said while scratching behind his ears. His eyes rolled back as I must have hit the sweet spot. "You sure are a mystery boy. But like I said, I'm glad you're on my side. Well, let's get a fire going and we will feast and toast to the gods, shall we, boy?" But he didn't even notice me. His eyes were fixed on the tree line behind us. His ears began twitching as if he was trying to listen to something. "What, boy? What is it?" I asked, reaching for my axe. His hair raised on his back as he let out a deep, guttural growl. The air was quiet, as it seemed like all time had stopped. No birds, no critters at all. And then, all of a sudden, there was an explosion from the tree line as one of them demonic beasts burst into the clearing. Roaring and snarling, the beast opened its mouth and roared, baring its razor-sharp teeth. The ground trembled as the beast charged towards us. In a flash, Bjorn jumped past me to meet the beast head-on, and I screamed for him to stop, fearing for his life, as I'd seen what they did to him before. "Bjorn!" I shouted, grabbing the spear and running after him, trying my best to catch up to him, but the snow was up to my knees. They both locked eyes, closing in on each other. Bjorn let out a fierce bark and jumped into the air to tackle the beast. But just as he did so, so did the beast. They collided mid-air, and with the beast landing on top of Bjorn, the beast was twice his size and a lot stronger. And seeing Bjorn go down made me instantly go berserk. I felt a sudden rage and no fear at all. The beast bit down onto Bjorn's face and neck, twisting and pulling at his flesh, as Bjorn let out a painful yelp. Bjorn managed to bite into the beast's shoulder and ripped a piece of flesh from its shoulder. The beast howled in pain. It raised its right hand, and those razor-sharp talons gleaming against the sun, and with one deathly swipe, brought it down onto Bjorn's face and ripped out his left eye. Bjorn howled with pain again, as the beast bit down on the back of his neck once more. Knowing he might not have much longer, as I was just upon him, I jumped with all of my strength and speed and tackled the beast, sending him flying off of my friend. We went tumbling over one another until I was on top of the beast. I quickly looked down at the beast and saw a scar on its stomach. You remember me, beast?" "Ah!" I screamed into the beast's face, spitting into its eyes. I punched the beast's face repeatedly as he tried to bite and claw at me, but I was too quick, and it couldn't reach me with its long arms, as I swiftly moved away from its swipes. I took out my axe and brought it down as hard as I could, chopping off its right arm, and blood spattered everywhere. I screamed again at the beast, but I was caught off guard, as its left arm sent me flying off of it with one powerful punch. I was sent sprawling and landed next to Bjorn as he was trying to stand up. "Stay, boy. Good boy. Stay," I whispered. I had just got to my feet as the beast was already upon me again, and swiped at me, slashing my chest and stomach, and knocking the air out of me as well. The blow sent me flying again, and I landed hard against a tree. I quickly came to, and I saw the beast was now standing above Bjorn. "Odin! Odin! Odin!" I screamed, setting my lungs on fire. The beast looked over at me and growled, as if disappointed that I was still standing. As the beast was distracted by me, Bjorn quickly bit down onto the beast's leg, tripping him. I quickly looked around and found the spear once more. I picked it up and ran over to the beast just as it was trying to get up. I kicked it in the face, breaking some of its teeth and sending blood and teeth flying out of the beast's mouth. Then, using all of the strength I had left, I jumped and slammed the spear into the beast's chest. And with a sickening crunch, I felt the spear pierce the beast and into the frozen ground below. It looked up at me, taking a raspy deep breath, and it roared, but that was cut short as Bjorn bit down on the beast's head and ripped it off in one flesh-tearing snap. And so, with one deep sigh, I fell beside the beast. Bjorn came over to me and started licking my face. "You are one crazy mutt, you know that, boy?" He whined and nudged me to get up, and steam rose from my blood that had soaked the snow all around us. I went over and picked up the beast's head and looked at it in the eyes and said, "No, I will be your death." And Bjorn howled in triumph. "The gods were with us today, boy. We must honor them good tonight." I went over to him and looked him over. Blood stained his face from losing his eye. A couple of deep cuts, but overall, he was okay. Them wounds will heal, boy, but I'm afraid you'll have to do without your left eye. I told him while we both touched heads. It didn't seem to bother him, but it did me. He gave me a reassuring nudge and licked my face again. "Thank you, my brother. Thank you," I told him. He wagged his tail in response. "There's more of them, boy. We're not out of the woods just yet. I have a feeling this is a pack, and the ones that attacked us, they're just scouts. But don't worry, we'll fight them to the end. Odin is always watching, and he favors the bravest of warriors. So, do not fear death. Embrace it, for Valhalla awaits us, boy." I said to him, patting his head once more, "Now, let us feast and toast the gods." That night we skinned and ate the elk, gave offerings to the gods, and had very full bellies. I made a new elkskin coat, fixed my boots with more elk hide, and Bjorn got plenty of bones to chew. And for a little camp decor, I slammed the spear into the ground and mounted the dead beast's head upon the spear, making it look back at the forest from which it came. We have to be on guard from now on, boy. Soon the Alpha will notice one of his scouts is missing, and they will be hunting us. But they will have it all wrong, boy. It will be us hunting them. Wow. Certainly another one. Wow. Absolutely chest pounding and a wonderfully written short story there. What a fantastic update to the incredible series by Daniel Baldridge. Big thank you, Daniel, for getting that over to me so fast. I really do look forward to more of this storyline. Well, guys and girls, short but certainly intense. As ever, please do let me know what you thought down below in the comments box. Please do like and share. It really does help with the channel and our community further. And why not hashtag Team Fear and DMT's Cryptid Crew. If you're an aspiring writer, want to get in touch with me on the usual email as on screen, which is DMTForestOfFEAR@gmail.com. I really look forward to hearing from you. As ever, guys and girls, I hope you're all well and happy, your friends and family alike, slowly getting the ball running again. And over the next few days, we'll pick up pace and double up the uploads. Make sure you got your notification bell smashed so you can stay up to date with all community posts and channel updates. But above all, guys, remember, be safe, not sorry.